Hi. Um, in today's video, I want to talk about why I personally believe Helldivers completely dropped the ball, and most importantly, why I think Space Marine 2 is 100% going to take over not just the gaming atmosphere. I wanted to kind of talk about why I think Helldivers fell off. So, now they want to talk about discrepancies. You kind of would have caught that if you actually playtested your game, but instead, you literally just threw it out there with no means. It was so obvious that within a day you had to announce, "Hey, we're gonna patch this in 2 months." Um, Such as weapons that are underperforming or overperforming. Yeah, because we need help. If a weapon that if we are locked out of progression getting new weapons and new weapon types, like you're not adding them for free, you're not giving us anything to work with. That's the problem. We have to pay to literally get these things in a $40 game. Yeah, $40 isn't a lot, but it's a lot to some people. Um, so, you know, you want us to pay for these battle passes or whatever, your rec packs, but yet you're not going to update the new one so people that don't want to pay or can't pay for super credits or don't have the time to grind for them because half the time you just give us rec slips now. Um, so they're kind of locked out of further progressing in the game as well. And make adjustments. Okay, so by nerfing it to the point where half our weapons don't really kill bugs, don't really kill automatons, don't really see that. Especially, like, they're still useful and effective, otherwise, the game literally would be unplayable. But the fact of the matter is, they don't even work the same. Like, my current gun used to be able to wipe out a small batch of the enemies. Now I kill like 3 or 4 of them, and I have to literally run. And it takes forever just to cool the fuck down. You don't let me have a bigger secondary, so I'm fucked there. Oh, and I could just bring a heavy gun. Well, guess what? Those heavy guns, I bring the Stewart. That's just what I call him, the Stewie, and it doesn't do shit. Half my weapons don't really do shit on the bigger guys. So, where's that balance? The goal is to ensure that each weapon stratagem feels powerful, responsive, and fun to use, while also fitting into the broader gameplay ecosystem. See, that would be fine, but you're nerfing guns because you want other guns to be played and used more. Well, then, give us a reason to want to use them more and not force us to use them. Otherwise, you're once again kind of shooting yourself in the foot and not going to make a game that people want to play. No one should be forced to use a gun that they don't like and suffer because they're not using the gun you want us to use. Nextly, what about the beta testing you mentioned previously? We have conducted a closed beta test for the last 2 weeks. We're starting small to ensure everything runs smoothly. Okay, before expanding, they have been a test bed for the program, and we intend to expand in the future and invite a wider variety of playtesters. Okay, so that doesn't sound like you have an actual playtester thing. You got people. You're inviting players to still beta test, but it sounds like you have a small pool and you're not listening to that small pool, or they only get so much time with the beta. I don't know much about it, but yeah, I am pushing it out to players. I don't think is a smart move. I think having it, unless it's in a closed server, not a smart move. When do we actually see stuff goes up? Our next update containing all these changes and more details is scheduled to go live September 17th, so in about 11 days from now, which, considering it's been 2 weeks and then we have another week and a half, so 4 weeks. It's been about a month, and we don't even know exactly what changes they're talking about. until we go back up here. So, it's been a couple of weeks since we committed to our 60-day plan. Our team has been hard at work refining gameplay experiences, addressing your concerns by doing in-depth reviews. They're only doing stuff like this now that Space Marine is getting so much hype. If it took another game for them to realize that they can easily lose all their players, I really and truly am scared for what's going to happen to Helldivers after that game releases. Whether or not the game is just going to flop, die off quickly, or what, or if, like, how the devs are going to react. Most importantly, I'm really curious to see what they do if another game decides to come out. Like, is this only happening now because of Space Marine actually gaining traction? Like, they knew it was going to come out eventually and get a lot of hype, but at the same time, why is this now such a priority? It comes out in 3 days as of recording this, Space Marine 2, and even then, it doesn't really sound like they're doing a whole lot to try and keep their players. Various systems, weapon balancing, and enemy behavior to overall game mechanics. We are fully committed to ensuring Helldivers 2 meets high standards as we expect. We see the Steam reviews and we hear you loud and clear. No, you don't. If you are only committed to what is being said in those reviews, then there's a problem. Because not everyone's going to go into the Steam reviews and put our grievances. I don't want to have to constantly fucking update my Steam review for your game. No. I'm not going to be writing a new review every 30 days just to keep you guys in line. You should be keeping that state of quality the whole time. Like, every single update, you should have a standard quality. And if you have a game-breaking bug, you push that update out till you get that game-breaking bug fixed. And make sure it's something your community's not going to fucking hate you for. I don't think anyone hates the devs. I just think we're all annoyed that they don't listen, and now that a new game is coming out that we're all looking forward to, now they're trying to fix it and do all this stuff. But in my opinion, it's too little too late. We're excited to share more details about our upcoming update, which will include significant changes aimed at refining and improving your experience. And these things will include reworking armor penetration. Okay. So, like getting stabbed, because I can tell you firsthand, I've been stabbed multiple times in recent videos, and some of it was funny as hell to watch, other times it was complete bullshit. So that, and heavy armor seems to go down and get penetrated a lot faster than light armor, so the armor needs to be just almost reworked in my opinion. Anti-tank weapons and enemy armor health values. The fuck does that mean? Go more in depth. Are you going to be buffing them? Considering the fact that a charger now takes 2 missiles in some cases? Or the fact that grenades don't even work on a charger? Or heavies at all? Automatons? Are you going to be giving us a way to actually fight them? Or the fact that it pretty much takes a whole squad to take down certain heavy types, especially the tentacle Termina dude. Don't know his name, but that is some bullshit. As a key part of the rework, we have done an initial balancing pass over 30 weapons and stratagems. There's over 30 weapons in the game? What the fuck? I only have like 4. See, that adds to the bigger issue. We are overhauling a number of different enemies to make them feel more rewarding to kill when you use the proper tools. I shouldn't have to explain why, but how the fuck are people gonna figure out what the proper tools are for the automatons when they're just a robot? You want me to set them on fire? Cool. Okay. What about electrocuting them? Oh, they'll explode and hurt me if I die near them and they get close to me. Okay. Let's see, what else to handle them, but ensure they still feel formidable. Formidable, okay, that does not mean I want to be getting my ass whooped and feel like it's a underdog fight with me having a pea shooter versus a 12 gauge shotgun. What's next? Enemy bots, including Hulks, have low armor. I don't have any footage of me fighting them, but I'm getting more flashbacks and I'm calling bullshit. And the number of rockets fired by enemies like the Devastator and Gunship will be limited. Why the fuck was that not something you did prior? Like, some of this seems like common sense to have made sure wasn't an issue in the beginning. And the fact that you didn't even give us a way to defend against it is another issue. And then, like, no one's complaining that the game would be too hard if you gave us a bone instead of buffing the enemies. Because it confuses me. Now, let's keep going. Making combat more balanced. Bullshit. The army values, particularly tough bug enemies like the Charger, Impaler, and Biotitan, will also be reduced. Honestly, don't buff them in the first place. Weapons such as autocannon, heavy machine gun, and any material rifle will be more effective, providing greater loadout versatility. We are also working towards additional improvements for the flamethrower weapons after nerfing them severely. So if you're going to nerf something and not think it's going to piss off the community, A, you done fucked. B, you must be an idiot because you knew that was going to piss off the community and you're already backtracking on it. So don't think that it's a good idea in the first place when you know it's already going to be a bad one. Just don't do it. We're taking this opportunity to consider new player fantasies and design goals for these weapons and stratagems based on the feedback we've received and the trends we're observing during gameplay. At this point, I rely on stratagems when I play the game because that's the only way I feel like I can even hit an enemy now, especially large groups of them because they spawn so frequently. Like, on screen now you're probably seeing gameplay, but I really don't think that they fixed or addressed half of the issues. It's kind of insulting, you know, like, I have 32 hours in this game. My friend Carson, if we go look at his playtime, he also has 32 hours. It's been a while since either one of us have played it, but here's the thing. When you got a game that people want to play, and you make it almost impossible for us to play, we have so much room on that war map. The automatons are getting closer to Super Earth in-game. And here's the issue. No one wants to fight the automatons. Okay? Now, instead of adding all these cool new enemy types to the two existing armies we're fighting, the Termina and automatons, add a new army, one that's really weak, but is like, just pops up near Super Earth. That's something else. Like, I'll have a mission on a planet, but then I can't continue that mission, so because like I took a day break or something, now that planet's locked. That's something that I'm not a big fan of, and I don't find out until I go to start a new mission, and I can't figure out where my previous one was. Or, you know, you gotta grind for hours, and that's fine, but it's literally getting to the point where it's the same thing. Go to this spot, go to that spot. Like, the gameplay loop is getting so old because the maps all look the exact same, and most of the time now you can't even see what the fuck you're doing. And yeah, we have a way to get rid of it, but we have to first find it and pray to God we're not just gonna get absolutely monster stomped in it. Like, I don't know. I hope the devs get their shit together, but I think if this update doesn't say, or here, this update will more or less make or break Helldivers 2 for a lot of people, I think, especially with Space Marine 2 coming out literally on this month, so on the 9th, in 3 days of recording this, Space Marine 2 will be out. And Helldivers needs to have thought ahead. Because everyone's jonesing for this. They're not jonesing for what Helldivers offered anymore because Helldivers has shot itself in the foot. It really and truly, it's kind of ironic, but I hope the game gets it together. I want to play more. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what you think on Helldivers on this situation. Let me know if you're excited for Space Marine 2. I'll catch you in the next one.